Shit, wait, you put some fucking lotion on.
I feel you on that.
For real, for real.
I feel you on that.
When carrying out attacks on other nations, destroying their infrastructure, and deforming their future generations, the imperialist needs to rewrite history and keep repeating it over and over until it becomes true.
Young lady with the red hair right behind the school teacher there.
Mr. President, why did you drop the atom bomb?
I made the only decision I ever knew how to make. I did what I thought was right.
I see you got your spin. Careful with that shit. Quiet on the set. Police on our neck. Your head like that up. Let me get that ace. Unholy water, my cup. In this mental, physical, spiritual war. Yeah, it's a spiritual war. It's an actual, factual, supernatural war. Listen, I got a diamond heart, 24 karat blood. My body is my temple. Bitch, I am the club. Whole universe, my outlet. I and I, we are one. Respect the flower of life. Go get your petal plucked like she love me or she love me now. You love me or you love what I got. It's okay if you're scared. Turn your fear into power. You got
Welcome, welcome.
garden. Some of those apples are sour, GMO. Careful with that shit. Quiet on the set. Police on our neck. Your head like that up. Let me get that ace. Unholy water, my cup. A little Henny. In this mental, physical, spiritual war. Yeah, it's a spiritual war. It's an actual, factual, supernatural war. I've got it.
And welcome, everyone, to the Contemporary Comrades podcast. It's your boy, Heavy J, Sir Heaviness, Big J, whatever the hell you want to call me. To my right, we have Mr. Half-Ass Pod, Corn. Say what's up, man.
Yesterday, to tell a little short story, my baby died.
Can we hold on before you go any further? Let's just have a moment of silence for the side piece. Just okay, all right.
But today it has resurrected. This right here is the very same microphone that died yesterday on your boy. My day one microphone. Just restarted the computer earlier today, plugged it back in, works completely fine. Boy, am I a fucking idiot.
Wait a minute, well...
That's what I had to do. I did all this other stuff yesterday, and you know, between like, you know, technology and you know, all the other stuff, right? Simply cut off my computer, cut it back on, and the bitch works. Wow. Yeah.
You know, actually, yeah. I don't think that it's. I think it's coming from the computer. Actually, I might be wrong. I think so. I don't know if it's the setting. Yeah. I don't know if whatever happened is the setting or not. But yeah, I thought it was still RIP mode.
It just might be, I guess. Either way, I'm glad to be on here.
Definitely, yes. Definitely, yeah.
Back to Comrades. Who up next? Glad to be back here. Awesome. We're back to our shit, man. We're back to our shit.
Definitely. Yeah, I know our last live stream was, I guess, on the shorter side. It was kind of spur of the moment as well, but yeah, we just kind of was like, yeah. By the way, we're going live. It was one of those things where we sent each other a link, and then it was kind of like, okay, we got to talk about it like ASAP.
Yeah,
man. But man, for tonight, we've got a fairly interesting show, I hope. So as you all know, there was a new, coronavirus stimulus bill that was passed through Congress. All it needs is a presidential signature, and then it will be signed into law, which includes a lot of money for everything and everybody else except American citizens, which get $600. So there and I guess there's a lot of controversy surrounding that because Donald Trump has since not necessarily vetoed it, but he said that he's not going to sign it unless there's $2,000 given to every American and then $4,000 for every couple, or I guess household. So basically, this bill is over 5,000 pages long. They gave it basically gave lawmakers essentially a couple hours to actually read through the bill before they had to pass it, because they finished it Sunday night and they had to rush it through and rush it and pass it Monday morning, because why not? Right, that's how they typically do that shit. That's how they do a lot of these like kind of urgent sort of sweeping bills and legislation. They just like draft up some 5,000 3 4 5,000 2,000 page document and expect people to read it in 6 or 8 hours and be able to comprehend it enough to pass it into law or not, but they just pass it anyway. So I guess we'll read a little bit from the article here. Basically it says this is just kind of like highlighting 5 outrageous items that were snuck in the COVID stimulus bill. Now, keep in mind, this is not a new practice. There's always bullshit stuck in every one of these bills or one of these acts or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, so basically it says, the U.S. Congress has approved the largest spending bill ever, disguised as COVID-19 stimulus bill. The Consolidated Appropriations Act of 2021 has been promoted by politicians and mainstream media as a government effort to provide the people with relief from the ravages of COVID-19 government and government-enforced lockdowns. And it says, unfortunately, the people have once again been shafted. Even mainstream media propagandists, the Washington Post, noted that the presence of tax breaks for lobbyists. It says, the Washington Post said, these measures added on to the broader spending bill are known as tax extenders, which are basically tax breaks targeted at specific, sometimes niche industries. And routinely extending these temporary measures has become something of a year-end tradition, despite loud complaints from some lawmakers who alleged that the votes largely benefit special interest groups who stand to gain financially from the outcome. In other words, grass is green, sky's blue. While the bill does allocate billions for the fight against COVID, the bulk of the funds, which is $22.4 billion, are going towards expenses for testing, tracing, and surveillance, including molecular, antigen, and serological tests, the manufacturing, procurement, and distribution of tests as well. And of course, it's in an article says, of course, these funds for testing make no mention of the many problems associated with the PCR test that is commonly used, which they have a link as well for the Florida Department of Health actually requires labs to report the cycle threshold of the troubled PCR test is what that link actually goes to. So Florida Department of Health actually in the good news for Florida for once, basically. So the vast majority of the stimulus bill goes to items unrelated to COVID and or actually stimulating, I guess, the American people or stimulating people's wallets. Basically, it includes expanding 5G. There's literally a Beat China for 5G Act of 2020 inside of the stimulus package. So basically it says here are 5 more ways that the stimulus bill is screwing over the American people and serving the will of the corporate state. Number 1, billions of foreign nations. So it says, while Americans scrape by, the U.S. government is preparing to give billions to foreign nations, including Egypt, Sudan, Ukraine, Israel, Burma, Pakistan, and Cambodia. Congress also managed to sneak in $33 million for democracy programs for Venezuela. Democracy programs for Venezuela. A clear continuation of regime change efforts in that nation, which they've been doing for a very long time. Additionally, Ukraine will be given $275 million to provide assistance, including training, equipment, lethal assistance, logistics support, supplies and services, sustainment, and intelligence. And another section of the bill gives another $453 million for assistance for Ukraine. So the funds for Ukraine are likely part of the effort to destabilize Russia and give the U.S. a foothold in the region long into the future. Which again, that Ukraine's been a battleground for a very long time. Number 2, it says combating vaccine misinformation. So, Courtney, you have anything to say about the foreign nation?
I'm kind of curious if the one where they were talking about, okay, they snuck in $33 million for the democracy programs for Venezuela. I'm kind of curious because I had to study Venezuela my last semester of college, and I was also friends with someone who was from Venezuela. I don't know, $33 million. First of all, I mean, Venezuela it's not a small country.
Not really, no.
$32 million. And again, what are these? I wonder what those programs consist of. That's why I laughed at $33 million. I'm like, wait a minute. First of all, $33 million. Second of all, why are we? I mean, I get, okay, we could be quote unquote helping, these democracy programs in Venezuela because they just had that. Who was it? I forget. I don't know what they call them, but like the most important person, in terms of the people in Venezuela last year was caught, saying all this crazy shit, like on a recording.
Yeah.
So that's what sparked that whole, it was a whole bunch of shit that happened in Venezuela last year, but and in the past few years, honestly. But $32 million, I don't think it's really going to do anything. And then you're talking about, Ukraine, that they're going to give in, $275 million. And then for what? And you look at these examples, including training, equipment, lethal assistance, logistics support, supplies and services, sustainment, and intelligence. It's some crazy shit, man.
Yeah, it's literally
crazy shit. Going to all these other countries. And again, I mean, am I the kind of person that says like, oh, I want financial help from the government? No, but if you're gonna financially help somebody, I mean, there's plenty of people that need it. And again, not to sound like, a little whiny baby or anything like that, but I mean, if you're gonna help a country, you might want to make sure yours is pretty good.
That's true. You got to at least make sure your people are straight too. But like we've said, they don't give a fuck about us.
No,
they care enough about us to make sure that we can reproduce and pay taxes. Yeah, but they're trying to stop us from reproducing at this point. So that's a whole nother rabbit hole.
True.
Next one. Combating vaccine quote unquote misinformation. So Section 313 of the bill, public awareness campaign on the importance of vaccinations, calls on the director of the CDC to award grants and contracts for public or private entities. Interesting. For a national evidence-based campaign to increase awareness and knowledge of the safety and effectiveness of vaccines. So this section also calls for fighting misinformation about vaccines and promoting scientific and evidence-based vaccine-related information. The campaigns to promote vaccines and combat misinformation would include the use of television, radio, the internet, and other media and telecom technologies. We all know. We all know what they've been trying to. Yep. Right? Yep. About 2 weeks ago. Yeah. Literally like the same shit. So now they're trying to make it law. So before it was just, it was kind of implied, like they're just kind of doing it, but now they're throwing it in the bill and funding it. So it can happen, This is essentially like that campaign right there is aimed at people like us.
Yep.
It's aimed at people like us who know what the fuck's going on, but they label it misinformation because it's not mainstream. You look at the people who own these fact checking organizations are the same people who own like the the actual networks and shit that they're on. Like
Yep.
they're all they all communicate. They all go to the same fucking board meetings every year. They all meet up and discuss the same affairs. So
What they're gonna do this year
what
and
they're
next
gonna
year.
do, yeah. It's no secrets. Number 3, making online streaming a felony. Oh yeah, you don't say. And that's for COVID relief. Making online streaming a felony for COVID. Okay, got it. So this also includes a controversial copyright and trademark measure, which could create confusion and potentially criminalize online streaming. So TechDirt reported that small changes cannot only have a massive impact. That impact can be on the public's ability to express themselves. The idea that 2 such bills should be jammed through in this manner is total and complete travesty. So Evan Greer, the deputy director for Fight for the Future, accused congressional leaders of ignoring the American people and serving Hollywood companies like Disney. You don't say. Greer and Fight for the Future warned that changes to copyright law could have profound implications for online freedom of expression. The CASE Act is a terribly written law that will threaten ordinary internet users with huge fines for everyday online activity. And it says that it's absurd that lawmakers include these provisions in a must-pass spending bill. They didn't really go too much into what the law actually is, but it essentially says that so basically it's twofold. It says that a streaming, basically any streaming platform, cannot make money on unlicensed content, and it can also not make money on whatsoever on any licensed content. So it really protects like large intellectual property owners like Disney and Universal and all these other big all these other fucking media companies. And basically we're making it a felony if you are to host any of this material, which we know the way they do laws in this country, that very well could easily trickle down to the end user who might have a repository of said information or of said media, hosting it on a said streaming platform. So yeah, it's
This is something that
just wild right here.
yeah. I mean, where to begin? You're talking about a felony at this point.
Yeah, felony. Like you're guaranteed jail time.
Like, and if not even getting jail time, a felony, bro. That goes on your record, bro. Like, fuck. Yeah, this is some crazy shit, and this is some very, very serious shit. I heard someone say the other day, is my mic good?
Oh, yeah, you're good, bro. Yeah, you're good now.
All right, you can actually hear me. Do I sound crisp?
Oh yeah. It's your mic's definitely working.
Awesome. All right. Anyways, like I said, where to begin, right? Let's start at the smallest level. If we're talking about copywriting or streaming, copyright content, we're talking about music. We're talking about what we do every episode. That's at the smallest level. There's so many things I've gotten from just this excerpt that we read here, in this article, and from what we learned 2 weeks ago, where they were going to start doing this rollout eventually, anyways. But now to say it's a felony, like, this is crazy. This is madness. They wasted no time on this bullshit. That's the crazy part about it. They wasted no time on this. Nope. But then we just talked about, and this is the extreme part. We just talked about what they did 2 weeks ago. They said if you talk about any kind of misinformation in terms of the election, I had a whole spiel on that.
Yep.
About that, about how that should go against every single person on this earth's morals to now make it like what differs America than any other country now? Think about that. When we were growing up, what did we always, now not us personally, but what do we always say? What do we always hear people say? What's so great about America, right? And then what's the first thing people say? Besides guns. But again, guns kind of tie into what everybody pretty much says. Freedom, right?
Yeah, freedom of
We have the
speech or
freedom to
whatever.
do this. We have the freedom to do that. What did we start saying? I mean, what did we say when we started this podcast? Just almost damn near every episode. We say, I mean, even though so and so, we disagree with so and so or disagree with that or this or that. At least they have the freedom. Like even though America's fucked, we still have that freedom for now. Jaron always pointed out for now, and now I know why Jaron always said for now. We have the freedom to say. They give us the freedom to say stuff, to go against the government and to be against the government. And Jaron always said, for now.
Yeah, and it's even no, sorry, I was just gonna say it's even beyond them giving it to us. It was not only is it what's that?
That should be a basic human right.
It is. That's what I'm saying. It is. It is.
And again, like to continue on, we're talking about months later, years later at this point, still doing this podcast. What was Jaron saying over the summer? We still have the freedom to talk about whatever we want and say whatever the fuck we want. Yep, you guessed it. For now. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I have some terrible fucking news for you. For now has just ended. After reading this article.
Yep.
They're telling us if you say anything, look at what Twitch just passed this back in November. They're censoring words now. They're censoring. They're making their own little fucking definitions of words. And if you say that word, you're done. But I could have told you a long time ago that Twitch is just a YouTube of. It's just a second YouTube, pretty much at this point.
Literally.
And then TikTok would probably be the third. But
no, TikTok's worse.
Exactly. And I believe TikTok is used as something to make people believe that they have the freedom to do whatever the fuck they want and all that stuff. It has been proven that TikTok is basically Vlad TV times 1,000. It's just nothing but FBI cameras.
Basically.
Looking straight at you directly from the source.
Basically.
Oh, you can do whatever you want on TikTok. And then people do whatever the fuck they want. And then next thing you know, so-and-so got jammed up for 5 years. That's TikTok. And I guess YouTube to an extent.
Yeah.
But that's the point that I was trying to make is that you're talking about the least of my worries, and it sucks that I'm saying this because it's very serious. The least of my worries are a fucking felony. That is the least of my worries when it comes to this shit.
I know.
The scary part is the fact that they are so scared that we, the people, no pun intended, we can go against what they mean, what they want to do to us. We can say, hey, everybody, look over here. We're trying to tell you what they're doing to us. Now they're saying we can't say that. We can't do that. That's literally what this is. Literally.
Yep.
They're saying you can no longer have a platform to say anything. You can't speak against the, president-elect or whatever the fuck they want to call the president. It's not really the president, but it's going to be the president. But I understand where they're like. I understand that this is what these high powers do. This is what they've done throughout the entire history of humanity. Is we silence what we don't agree with. We silence when someone tries to expose us because we're dickheads. Dickhead government. That's what it is. They did it on Facebook for years, which is why I got off of Facebook. Jaron, you got off of Facebook years before we did. Years before I did. I shouldn't say we, because we're the only ones in our circle that don't have it. But you got off of Facebook years before I did. And then I got off of Facebook because I saw the bullshit that was happening. And also, once you see your grandma on Facebook sending you a friend request, I think it's probably time you should get off.
Go. It's time to go. That's enough internet for forever.
Yeah. But yeah, dude, at the same time, I'm like, look, man, they are about to silence us like never before. That's why I always enjoy doing shit like what we're doing right now this very second.
Absolutely.
Jaron, you've known me pretty much my whole life. I've never cared about any of this shit. I never cared about, what they're going to do to us, blah, blah, whatever. You could probably say I was brainwashed, but I wouldn't necessarily say that. I would just say that I just wasn't privy and I didn't really care. Not that I wasn't listening, because I was, which is how I got here today. But like I've never, this stuff has never really affected me. I never felt like it affected me. But when someone like me, this catches the attention of someone like me, I'm like, whoa, what? This is what's happening. They're telling us, like they do all the time, look, we're going to make you believe in something false. We're going to brainwash you. And from us initially brainwashing you, we're going to make you guys fight each other. We're going to make you guys think irrationally. We're going to make you guys run around and spew more hate. We're gonna make you guys take all these precautions. We're going to make you guys stay inside. Yeah, should I continue? You know, like,
make you guys beg and plead for our agenda.
Like this is madness.
Yep.
Whether you are a YouTube creator, whether you're an artist, whether you're I don't know, a journalist, it doesn't matter. Hell, even if you're a college student, there's going to be certain things you can't say in your fucking papers or you'll get kicked out of school. At the least, probably.
Oh, I'm sure.
Nothing will surprise me anymore, dude. After all this shit happens, after them saying, look, if you say what we don't agree with, you're done. I can see that happening with a privately owned company, but we're talking about YouTube for fuck's sake. We're talking about Twitch for fuck's sake.
Hey, they're making their own fucking world, I guess.
The end is near, man. And honestly, I think the end is here.
Did you see? Did you hear that Mark Zuckerberg was selling a lot of his own shares in Facebook?
No.
Yeah, I'm wondering if something's going to come down with them with that that privacy case that they're dealing with right now. I'm just wondering if since he was selling, a lot of money in shares of his own company, I wonder if he's trying to liquidate something because something might be going down with that. I don't know, because remember Facebook and Twitter and this whole like privacy, like lawsuit with the government and shit. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's interesting to think about. But yeah, dude, you pretty much, that again. Even if you're a platform that is hosting this IP, this intellectual property, this whatever, this media, you're going to be fucked if they pass this. Which again, Trump hasn't signed it. He only has cited though. He's only cited change in the amount of money Americans get, which is important. I will say, but there's a whole lot of other shit in this that I think is also being overlooked, which is why we're reading this article. Number 4, billions to the war machine. This is pretty much status quo here. Of course, a 5,000-page bill would not be complete without replenishing the stocked arsenal of the military. Defense News noted the bill includes $627 billion in base funding and $68.7 billion in wartime overseas contingency operations funding. And it said here's a partial rundown of what various departments have been given. So, like the Army got 288 mil, Air Force got 509 mil, Navy got 421 mil. Columbia class submarine, whatever that is, got 2.8 billion. And then Virginia class submarine got 4.6 billion. I'm not even really sure what those are. Do you know what those are, Corn?
No, but I assume it's some like elite,
It's got to be, yeah. It's got to be.
You're talking about the class submarine. I don't even know what that is.
I don't either, but
it sounds fancy though.
It does, and they got fancy money too.
I wonder what they're gonna get us to the Space Force though. I don't see that. I don't see that anywhere.
Right. I don't either. I don't either. And number 5, last but not least, a COVID-19 stimulus bill would not be complete without giving billions to the Global Vaccine Alliance, founded and funded by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. As T-Lab has previously reported, the Trump administration has already awarded Gavi billions of dollars earlier this year. Under a section titled the Global Health Programs, the stimulus bill allocates $4 billion to prevent, prepare for, and respond to coronavirus, including for vaccine procurement and delivery. These funds will be administered, says the United States Agency for International Development, and shall be made available as a contribution to the Gavi Alliance. On page 1278, there's another provision for $3.2 billion made available to them. So they've gotten, that's like $7.2 billion out of this going to that Global Vaccine Alliance. $7.2 billion in this bill alone to the Global Vaccine Alliance. And you say that, and there's people that say that Bill Gates, this is all fine. There's no ulterior motives here. They just want everybody vaccinated and healthy because vaccination equals health. It says, interestingly, there is a notice that none of the funds made available in this act should be made available to any organization which, quote, supports or participates in the management of a program or coercive abortion or involuntary sterilization. End quote. So it says, what's left for the people? It's important to recognize that politicians, lobbyists, and corporate partners, what we call the predator class, do not care if Americans suffer. They're perfectly content with watching the economy crash and Americans suffer. This is because their agenda is the Great Reset, the reimagining of not only the American economy, but the global economy. The only hope is for the American people and the people of the world to get organized and push for a greater reset, or I guess a alternative to the Great Reset is what they're saying there. Man, yeah, it's pretty clear. It's pretty clear that they think we're idiots, man. It's pretty clear that they think that everybody, or they might not just think, they might know that everybody is so dumbed down and so so zombified that they cannot see the blatant disrespect, the blatant, basically compromising of the people. Just in this bill alone, it's like they've taken the veil off of all the bullshit. Like I'm fully convinced that conspiracy theories are like a thing of the past at this point. Because they're just doing this shit blatantly and out in the open for everybody to see now. The Great Reset, that's like a culmination, dude. The Great Reset and the fucking Israeli defense space guy coming and saying they're aliens. Those two things alone culminate like 30 years of conspiracy theories, and they're all coming out and now saying it. Like you've got the alien conspiracy theory in one, and then you've got the Great Reset, which covers like multiple. An economic crash, chipping, mandatory vaccinations, a massive, communist, socialist, like globalist society. That's like every conspiracy theory everybody's ever called a conspiracy theory. But it's no longer a conspiracy theory because they're saying it, and they're saying, yeah, we're planning on doing this, by the way. So
and yet people are they're not paying attention.
No, not at all. Not at all.
That's the problem. I think that's the problem in general, is that there's not enough people. Because yes, you have your Joe Rogans, but Joe Rogan, especially now more than ever, now that he's with Spotify, can't really give you this kind of information.
Not like he
even
used
if you
to.
wanted to.
Right.
Because a lot of people say, oh, like Joe Rogan, yeah, he talks about real stuff on his podcast, and yeah, but it's it's watered down a little bit. And I'm not to bash Joe Rogan, because I feel like if he actually did it on his own, he would be able to. If he was someone that really didn't give a shit, like about how people would view him, I feel like he'd be able, with as big a platform as he has, he would be able to help. I think people will feel a lot more comfortable, behind someone like Joe Rogan, to be able to express how they really feel about this bullshit. But everyone's walking around afraid, including Rogan now, because he's, signed a deal with Spotify, and the shit gets censored and edited, basically chopped and screwed before it's put out to us. So at the end of the day, what they're doing, they're doing a smart thing, which is silencing everyone, giving the money to the people who have backed this whole thing. I still think to this day, Bill and Melinda Gates think that they could be like kings and queen of the world. Like the world is literally like in Bill Gates's hands.
Of the medical world, yeah, I'd say for sure.
Like this. Like I think there's, and I'm not trying to sound super. This is a tinfoil hat moment, obviously. But I think that Bill Gates sits at this circular. I'm not gonna be specific or putting details, but he sits at a table with all these other quote unquote conglomerates of the world, right? Some we know, some we don't. But Bill Gates is one of them, and yes, he's the one that controls this whole medical part. Yes. I mean, dude's got buku money. Dude's running around controlling every aspect. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, man.
It's crazy. And the fact that, I mean, he can fly around not even with just like his name. He can do it with his money. He can just say, "Hey, we're doing this because I have $3.2 billion that can back all of these fucking hospitals." That's that's a big fucking deal. You're talking about, I mean, look at what's happening right now. Doctors and nurses are being brainwashed and tricked into taking this fucking vaccine.
Yep.
And posting about it and recording it.
Yep. And passing out.
Yeah, took the vaccine. Yeah, woohoo. Yeah, pro-vax.
Hashtag trust the science.
These hospitals are paid by Big Brother corrupt government to tell you, oh, you have COVID. Oh, we're going to give you this test. You're positive for COVID. Oh, you're positive. Oh, this person's positive. All right. It's just like, all right, it's getting out of hand. And I don't think, now again, still tinfoil hat moment. It's still part of tinfoil hat moment. I still don't think it's that. I'm not saying I don't think it's that serious. I just don't think it's as many cases as they say it is. Without sounding too, whatever.
Right.
But
I
again,
know exactly what you mean.
at the end of the day, The Great Reset is coming. We all have to prepare for it the best way we can. I mean, again, can I imagine? Can I imagine someone living off the grid during this whole Great Reset? I don't think so. I don't think so. Because trust me, I thought about it. I thought, is there any way for me to actually? I could slow it down. I could do the same thing Trump did. I can slow all this
Right.
bullshit down, but at the end of the day, they're still gonna do what the fuck they're gonna fucking do. You
Right.
know?
I mean, and you
And
saw the article said Trump still gave Bill Gates, billions earlier this year. Or
yeah,
gave his that company that his foundation started billions earlier this
that's
year.
why I've never praised that, man. Like
You know?
like everybody else has, where it's like, oh, Trump this, it's just like, no. Am I supposed to praise Trump just because he was a decent human being for 2 seconds? No. But I'm glad he slowed all this shit down.
For sure.
If he actually really did that. But
I think he did.
You know?
I think there's enough evidence to say he did. He also
We're all
pushed
gonna
it
get
forward
it.
in other ways.
You know, we're all gonna fucking get this shit. So I'm looking at every way possible to try to not do it, to not be a part of this whole Great Reset thing. But they're gonna get us to oblige.
Man, I'm telling you. Just just thinking about what measures they might have to go, they might be thinking of going to get people to get the stick. It's just like, how far will they actually go? Because I know in New York they said that it's mandatory for all New Yorkers. There's already legislature in other countries that's getting passed and getting proposed to require vaccination for public transit. I think France has already got a bill in their legislative branch right now to make it mandatory to have a vaccination to use public transit, and that's how the majority of people get to work in foreign countries. Like, a lot of people don't, they use public transportation, but that's the thing: public versus private. And public, that's why that's why they say America's the last free country, because we still have that separation. In France, if it's public, if it's government provided, then you're subject to those types of things. Unfortunately, it's just the way it works. But yeah, man, it's going to be it's going to be very, very tricky. It's going to be very tricky.
Yeah.
Yeah, time's just going. I think time's going to tell. I think even though I don't think it's anything to be super hasty about right this second, it is going to manifest itself in a certain way. But I feel like in some way,
But we see how fast
they work out
we see how fast they pass this shit, though.
Right.
We see how fast they just introduce this shit to everybody and expect everybody to be cool about it. Like,
Right.
yeah, that's one of the things I talked about. Even in the upload, the upload review that we did last week, like they are going to introduce all this shit to us and expect us to just be okay with it. Because if we do say anything about it, they're going to not only silence us, but fuck our lives up, because we are fucking up their entire agenda just by even putting a thought out there to the people. Hey, let's not all be slaves. Guess what happens when you're a part of the slaves and you tell the other slaves, hey, let's not all be slaves?
Yeah.
What do you think a fucking master is going to fucking do to you? Because now you just told a group of slaves, hey, maybe we should, not be slaves. And you would think that maybe they would have thought of that. They might have, but they know that if they step out of line, guess who's coming to get them?
The same people who were creating that line, providing that for them.
And I'm not afraid to say it. It's people like us. It's people like us that we have this platform, and we use this platform to speak to stuff, to say, hey, let's not be fucking slaves. Let's not do what everyone else is fucking doing and responding the way that everyone else is responding. And maybe we can get some shit done as people.
Yeah, maybe, just maybe. You know, just
But-
like just like at the bottom of the article right there, it says, "Question everything, come to your own conclusions." That's all we fucking say. That's all we want you to do.
I never thought we live in a world where people will chastise you for questioning shit. That's my big. It was he died. Okay, I get it, but we can still question shit. Like just because someone was killed doesn't mean we can't question what happened before they were killed, or question why that person was killed, or question this or question that.
Right.
Instead of just storming out into the streets and because again, you have to go about things with a certain approach.
Right.
You know, especially when you're trying to create relationships and create, stability socially, period. So again, this isn't anything that, we haven't talked about before. They're just going into detail what's coming with all that quote unquote free money that people are talking about. So
Pretty much. Which, by the way, we will be paying back. Like all that money that's going to all these other countries, and the military industrial complex, and the vaccine agenda. We will be paying for all that, by the way. With
I
our
have a
tax
question for you,
through
Jan.
our taxes and through our labor. What's that?
I'm just trying to think about it. What after this happens, what actually differentiates us from any other country at this point? From the North Koreas and the shit, right? I mean,
Yep.
honestly, think about it. Because you can probably, like I know that some people are probably going to say, some people in the comments maybe are probably going to say like, oh, North Korea, they had the, you can't say this and you can't say that and you can't show this and you can't show that. But what are we doing right? What are we doing right now? Really? I know it might seem crazy now, but they're talking about this shit coming out soon.
Yeah.
They're talking about censoring us. That they already have censored us, bro.
Yeah.
So I mean, honestly, what actually, if you and I'm not saying just agree with me. I literally want to know what after all this shit happens, after the Great Reset, what differentiates us from any other country?
Nothing. It's gonna be nothing. That whole Constitution thing is gonna be out the window. Because after the Great Reset's done, the Great Reset will have happened. if you catch my drift, the reset will have happened. America being the world superpower is no longer beneficial. They have other plans for the globe at this point. America's had its time, and they're ready to get this whole global order shit popping, basically. And the Great Reset says it. New York, I don't know what the hell is in the water in New York, but all the legislators in New York are batshit insane. The fucking New York City mayor is saying, he's saying, we're ready for a financial, basically a financial reset, a redistribution of wealth. Like, okay, dude, like, y'all keep playing these games. They're like, that's what I'm saying. They think people are stupid, bro. They're telling everybody, look, we're going to crash the economy. We are going to reset all this shit on you motherfuckers. And there's no longer going to be a middle class after this is done. It's going to be rich and poor. And that's it. That little, that little American dream where you can, get your business going and become a millionaire, a self-made millionaire and all that other shit. That's out the window. That's gone. That's done for after the Great Reset. And so are your individual liberties and your private rights as well. I forgot to mention that part. But that's what if they have it their way, if they get their steak cooked to order, you feel me?
You're talking about drones flying around, monitoring
Oh,
people's
all
houses,
all that
can
chips.
look inside of people's homes.
Oh, I saw an article. There's a satellite now that can see through buildings from was it 15, 20,000 feet in the air. Surveillance drone. Literally has like X-ray cameras that can see through buildings.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that's where we're at now. That's where we're at. That is what we have to look forward to
This is great.
in our
I love
reality.
I love this. This is so awesome. Like, I can't believe, after all these years, we haven't said shit about, being spied on and shit about these chips being put in us. And we were just having a great time. And yeah, man, life used to be so great because we just ignored everything and just had fun all the time. And well,
Right.
Here we are. Awesome. Just fucking awesome. And again, we try not to come on here and bitch or complain, but man, we got to give it to y'all, man. We got to let y'all know what's going on, man. Like this is crazy. This is straight up madness from the top of the top. Like,
Yeah.
these puppeteers, man, they are no fucking joke. They are playing us like a fiddle right now. And we're just dancing. We're dancing.
And loving every minute of it too.
Yeah.
And wanting more. Wanting more songs to dance to.
Because it's 2020.
Oh, and the itis.
Oh, and TikTok.
And TikTok.
I gotta dance and not use my real voice because it's TikTok. Yeah. Hey, FBI, come look at me. Yeah. Well, here we go. Great reset. Just slap great reset on all that bullshit. And there you go. They don't know, dude. They don't fucking know. And then when the shit happens, then they're gonna be like, oh, what happened? Now it's gonna be a more we're all oppressed now. Is gonna be a thing. How much you want to bet?
Yeah. I saw a stat today that said 70 million Americans will not have adequate access to food by the end of the year. That's like 15 to 20%. That's like 15% of the country. Remember, our GDP dropped 30 something percent in 3 months after COVID first hit. And then it got brought back up. But now things are dropping again because I guess COVID's getting worse, and then the markets boom because there was a stimulus package and then Trump's not going to sign it, so then it dropped again. like everything is teetering on such a thin fucking line. It feels like America is being held up by a single spider web strand. And it's like the wrong gust of wind's just gonna break that shit. Like that's what it feels like. Like every little like everything is so volatile and so erratic now. Like all it takes is somebody like Elon Musk to mention something. Yeah, oh yeah, I got one word, cryptocurrency or something, and then whatever currency he says jumps 20-25%. That just happened the other day. He mentioned a cryptocurrency, and then everybody went and fucking bought it, and it jumped 20-something% in one day. It's just like everything is just so like reactive.
Yep.
Like we can't we're not gonna. This isn't a good state to be in. For anyone.
Everyone move left. Everybody moves left. Move right. Everybody moves right. And I think all they're doing is just watching a simple, IG video. No,
Oh no.
no.
Is there such a thing as just a simple IG video?
I mean, yeah,
I
but
mean, yeah, but
you
all right,
know,
that was a little tinfoily.
but what I really mean is like these celebrities. Every time they turn on a camera, it's like you got 23,000 people. That are, if you say jump, they're gonna fucking jump. Some people they got 2.3 million people. If they fucking jump, they're gonna fucking. They say jump, people are gonna fucking jump. Maybe not all 2.3, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like, man, like people don't know because just like that Elon Musk. I mean, you said it perfectly. It's like Elon Musk mentioned. He said something just as little as mentioned cryptocurrency, and that shit jumped up 20%. Like think of a YouTube gamer, or think of an actor, or think of Kanye, or Jordan comes out with some new shoes or something. You know what I mean? Like it's just everything, like you said, it's so reactive. And so like, yo, let me go peep this joint and see. No, it's just like people have on that blue notification, that blue bell notification thing on everyone. And when stuff like that, and I'm not just talking about just social media, but I'm just talking about with everything. It's just reactive.
Yep.
And I can't imagine just living life daily, 24/7 with just reactive, with just a reactive button on, just constantly throughout the day. Reactive.
You can only imagine, dude. Just
Yeah.
like, jeez. And all you do is consume like you have a reactive reality, if you will, and then you get off of work and then you go and watch TV and mainstream media at night before you go to bed. And then people wonder why they have nightmares and shit. It's that programming. Man, yeah, wild shit, man.
I feel like I have nightmares for other reasons, but
true. I'm exaggerating, but there's a little.
but I mean that could be a factor in people's nightmares, though.
It could be.
Yeah.
That was me basically being like, that's that mind control. That's just you fighting that mind control. Man, do we want to go into these fucking England lockdowns? So we're already on this gravy train, man. We're already on this shitty gravy train. Yeah. So for our next topic, man. So England. Now I don't know if you all are familiar. I'm sure you all are at this point, but there has been a mutant strain of COVID that has emerged in the UK, and they're desperately trying to pretty much close the borders to stop the spread of this mutant strain. So now I don't know how long you listeners' memories are, but I don't know if you remember, but about 2 to 3 months ago, something like that, we did a podcast where we read what was a supposed leaked email of Canadian Prime Minister's plans on pretty much the next 6 to 8 months with the itis, right? And one of those predictions, or one of those plans, if you will, was essentially a mutation of the virus. That would deem the vaccine useless against this particular strain. And lo and behold, earlier than the document that we read predicted, we have a mutation of the strain. So that's what I find very interesting is that document has proven to, at this point, everything that was said in that leaked email has happened so far within a month of when they said it was going to happen. At least that I can tell. And we can pull it back up if y'all want to look at it again. But in particular, the mutation of the virus right here so far has happened. Now, there was a whole lot of stuff to come after that, where they were going to call it COVID-21 and all this other shit. So we'll see if they end up doing that. And we're in the very early stages of this mutation, like I was saying, in which they are now currently testing the vaccine against this new strain. So we'll see within the coming weeks how if the vaccine is effective against this new strain, and if that email is correct, the email said it was not B. So again, we'll judge the legitimacy of that based on actual events, because so far it's unfortunately checking out. But let me get into the article a little bit. Basically, so it looks like, according to the latest comments from the health secretary, a variant of the virus recently discovered in South Africa has made its way to England, which policymakers are now using as justification to expand HMG's heavy-handed restrictions by placing more of East and South England under level 4 lockdown, which is the most restrictive since the spring. So it says tier 3 is not enough to control the new variant. This is not a hypothesis. This is a fact. Hancock said, and I quote again, he says, "It is therefore necessary to put more of the east and southeast of England into tier 4. Some media outlets initially mistook the two variants, which share a mutation in the same area of their RNA. You don't say. As the same strain, but scientists who have sequenced its RNA have found that the South African strain constitutes a designation all its own. So it's completely different genetically than the other strain, the original strain. Basically, it says the original strain found in the UK is separate. According to officials, at least 2 younger Britons have been found carrying the strain from South Africa, which is reportedly, listen to this, which is reportedly even more transmissible than the UK mutation that was also said in that leaked email we read. Anecdotally, there have been reports about the strain infecting more young people. Oh, you don't say. You don't say.
I wonder why that is.
Because I don't know. Because that was young people's scapegoat. It's all COVID's only that's been the whole thing with the original strain. Oh, it's only really killing people in their 60s and up, 50s and up, or if you're in really bad health, or underlying conditions and older age has been like the main things with the other strain. So now, of course, this one's got to be bigger, badder, scarier, right? So.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to have a Caitlyn Jenner on my screen. Sorry.
Oh shit! Is that the video of that tweet?
No, that I don't know what that video was, man.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But basically, in response to the news of the latest mutation, so there are a couple areas: Sussex, Oxfordshire, Suffolk, Norfolk, Cambridge, Essex, Waverley, and Surrey, Hampshire, including Portsmouth and Southampton, will be in a tier 4 lockdown.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it goes through some shit. So if there's a map of England there, and it's got a ledger there. So like it's got the tiers and where and what parts of the country are tiered up. If you scroll down a little bit more. I think it's scroll down a little bit more. Yeah, so you can see there. That's where. So the purple is tier 4, and red is tier 3, and orange is tier 2. So like there's no tier 1s anymore in England. So I guess the whole southeast part of England, like they were saying, is tier 4 now. Um, so the article goes on to say, meanwhile, many scientists and MPs, I'm not sure what that is, have a lot of questions about this new variant, and some have pointed out that there is no hard evidence to link higher case numbers with this particular strain. In other news, Israel has reportedly discovered 4 cases of this mutated strain from the UK, along with other mutations of its own. So the article says, is it possible that health authorities are hyping this up to convince Europeans to abide by their draconian lockdown orders during the holidays? Question mark. um, yeah, man, this is interesting. So what are your? I'm curious what your thoughts are on this mutation of the virus, Corn. But just to give you mine real quick, I kind of saw this coming, and it is kind of not surprising because again, whenever you vaccinate against something, it's going to try and survive, so it's going to adapt to its new environment, right, inside the body.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why they always resemble this to the flu and shit. Well, that's why the flu vaccine is different every year because the flu is always mutating. Every year there's like the flu of 2012 was horrible, but the flu of 2016 wasn't that bad, because it was it's adapted, it's changed, it's technically a different flu strain. It's still the flu, but it's a different type of flu. So I'm not surprised that it's mutated, but again, it's just going to be used to say, hey, all right, yeah, now you're going to need more vaccinations, and now we're going to have to make these mandatory because we can't handle all these mutations. So we're going to have to, make sure everybody's vaccinated so that you can be, prepared as best prepared as you can against all these future mutations of the virus. Right? That's how they're going to get you. And by the way, you're not going to be able to do anything unless you are vaccinated. So we're going to need you to do that ASAP. And we're gonna make sure we give you a stimulus check too, so you can't say that we didn't give you anything in exchange. By the way, we're giving you a vaccine and money, and you asked for all of it. So now you're gonna do what we say, which is take the stick.
Hell in a handbasket. Hell in a handbasket. I mean, again, I don't have too much to say about this because I still don't know too much about the actual like the mutation and stuff. Because this did come from.
Yeah, it's not a whole lot of
did
info.
come from. So the actual mutation didn't come from the vaccine, right?
They're saying it came from South Africa.
Okay.
But they're testing right now currently the vaccine against this mutation.
Because when I was reading, I think it might have said it in this article somewhere. It was quoting some doctor lady saying that the vaccines should be able to prevent this as well or cure whatever, how we word it. But the vaccine, the current vaccine should be able to take care of it. I can't. It might not have been this article. I can't remember, but I was reading up on this. And they were saying it might have been that Twitter article I was reading before we started recording. But yeah, again, this is crazy, man. Like, well, we know this is real, but again, I don't know too much about like the science part. Like more about like the flu and like it goes to like different parts of the body. It needs to like it needs like a host, right?
Yes,
and the vaccine kind of moves it, around in the body, I guess.
Yeah, no, it's just I feel you, man. It's just not surprising to me that it's already mutated into a stronger version. if again if again that is legitimate, because
Yeah, if this is legitimate, who's at fault? You know?
I don't think I don't know. I don't think anybody's necessarily at fault, unless if it's legitimate.
Yeah.
If it's illegitimate, then I think we know who's at fault. But
yeah,
because it was only bound to mutate, right? So
I mean, would we need to go to tier 4? Lockdown? No, but I mean that's my own personal opinion. I'm not for the lockdown, so I don't think the lockdowns really do anything.
I don't think they do shit.
Yeah, I mean, it was proven that the lockdowns didn't do shit. We didn't see the cases didn't necessarily go down when we were all in quarantine.
It did do something. I forgot. It increased overdose rates almost 300% in California. That's what it did. I forgot.
You know what I mean, though. But again, I don't want to be that guy to say like, oh, COVID doesn't exist or COVID, but it's not as bad because it has killed people. So I'm not saying that, but yeah, I'm not on that the whole train of COVID is doing all of this. Now again, could this be a mutation of it? Yeah, and again, like you said, like if this is a real, I just didn't know where we were going with this. Like I just didn't know if we were like looking for someone to blame for this. Or if
no, not really. Just wanted to
if we need to go into like another lockdown or something. Like but yeah, I don't know too much about this. It's just that I think personally, we don't need to go into lockdown. Like if anything, we don't need to be doing whatever the fuck England's doing.
Well, that's all we've ever done for the most part. Not ever done, but how many of those little, those little, like Norfolk and all that, Suffolk, those are counties and shit in Virginia, cities in Virginia, which is pretty funny to.
Well, the name Virginia itself comes from England,
right?
So,
but so does it. Pretty much so does the country. So, yeah. So that definitely makes sense. Yeah, man, I don't know. I just wanted to basically just say, yeah, their England is strapping down because of some crazy mutant strain. So, don't be surprised if that crazy mutant strain just makes its way into the United States ever so conveniently with here in the next few weeks. Because remember, it's holiday season, so everybody's doing more traveling and out and about than they're supposed to be, quote unquote. Anyway. Right, so of course
these airlines don't give a fuck, bro.
No, they just got bailed out too. Yep. The movie theaters and entertainment industry got their cut this time around. So, yeah, the theater industry got their. I think they got about $9 billion or something like that, respectively. Something between a lot of the.
Now all the directors feel comfortable with fighting back at Warner Brothers for that rollout they did.
Yeah. Yes, of course.
I will say this about this stuff. Like, although I don't condone the lockdown, I think that because at first I thought all this time it would be the actual vaccines that would do the mutations. They'd be doing like the mutating. Like we'd be getting these stories because of the vaccines and not necessarily, what's happening, from Africa or, UK or whatever.
Well, you got to remember they were the first to get the vaccines, the UK. So now I know they said it was.
But what about the other mutation from Africa?
Yeah, I know that. I was going to say I know they're saying that this mutation came from South Africa. But it's just
that one is really tricky.
Yeah.
Because they weren't the first. They weren't. Africa wasn't the first. So, yeah, this is.
And who's to say
tricky, man?
Who's to say that another mutation won't happen because of the vaccines too as well?
Yeah.
Who's to say they're not going to sit here and make a COVID vaccine like a yearly thing for a few years?
Just like going to get your tags renewed. You're renewed at the DMV.
Yeah, or a flu shot or whatever the hell.
But I mean, I only did that because I only use that reference because you got to get your tags renewed, like you have to every year. But
Right.
I can't remember the last time I had a flu shot.
I can't either. It's been a long time. Can't remember the last time I've had a shot. Period. I ain't talking whiskey. You feel me?
Oh my god.
But yeah, man, I don't really have anything else to say about that. Just be on the lookout in America for a mutated strain of COVID. Like we said, we did read a little bit of foreshadowing on this exact thing a few months back. So, take that for what you will. It was in somebody's plan.
Yep.
We can guarantee that it was in somebody's fucking plan. So, like I said, take that and run with it on your own time. But
Yeah,
but,
because they sure as
shit.
shit ain't publishing peace.
Yeah, sure as shit ain't publishing peace. Fucking fraud. Fraud abiding citizens. All right, anyways. Last topic. So, we have a white paper that was written by the IMF, so the International Monetary Fund, that wants to base your financial credit score off of your browsing and search history. Yes, your personal, private browsing and search history. Which, so you remember how we've been saying that, you're not going to have any private rights anymore. This is another continuation of that. So a new white paper by the IMF calls for linking your search history to your financial credit score, which would in effect lower your score if you visit websites that are deemed harmful by their fact checkers. What did we just say about the fact checkers?
They're not really fact checkers.
They're not really fact checkers. They're more agenda pushers. They rub elbows with the very companies that they're supposed to be fact checking, and with the very companies that have them on their platforms. This is the world we're living in. This is the world people are asking for. In a new blog post for the International Monetary Fund, 4 researchers presented their findings from a working paper, which is linked in this article, that examines the current relationship between finance and tech as well as its potential future. So the researchers propose using the data from your browsing, search, and purchase history, which, by the way, is already collected, to create a mechanism for determining the credit rating of an individual or a business. So the plan is outlined in a blog written by Arnaud Boot, Peter Hoffman, Luke Lavin, and Lev Ratinovsky, pitching the Orwellian notion as a breakthrough in financial technology. And we could of course go to the blog if you wanted to, but we'll skip that. So basically, I have a little excerpt here. FinTech, so financial technology, resolves the dilemma by tapping various non-financial data, the type of browser and hardware used to access the internet, the history of online searches and purchases, recent research documents that once powered by AI and machine learning. These alternative data sources are often superior than traditional credit assessment methods and can advance financial inclusion. Are you hearing this fucking double speak? This fucking garbage that this dude just said? He just said AI and machine learning is superior than traditional credit assessment methods because it can tell you more about a person. So therefore, we're going to use that instead.
Humans cannot tell humans what's good for them anymore. Humans cannot teach humans anymore. We're
It's
being
crazy.
taught by something far superior.
So it's being touted. It says overall, while much of the technological progress in finance is evolutionary, its pace is accelerating fast. So fintech's potential to reach out to over 1 billion unbanked people around the world and the changes in the financial system structure that this can induce can be revolutionary. Huh? Where else have we heard that? Oh, the Great Reset. That's right. How could I forget? Governments should follow and carefully support the technological transition in finance. It is important to adjust policies accordingly. You hear that? It is important to adjust policies accordingly and stay ahead of the curve. What does that say? Finance trumps government. Money trumps government. Money is energy. Energy is citizens. Citizens are slaves.
You know, I heard someone say the other day, I think they were quoting someone, some philosopher or some shit. But they said that it used to be that, you know, law would change the way these agendas operate. They say nowadays it's the agendas change the way that the laws, you know, operate. It's basically like they would have to abide by the law no matter what agenda it was. But now the law is created around the agenda rather than the agenda being created around a law.
Around the law, yeah. Yeah.
Some
Pretty
crazy
much.
shit.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah. So the researchers didn't acknowledge that there would be privacy and policy concerns. They didn't really do much to explain how that might work. And the article goes on to say the paper isn't that long of a read. Basically, it says, however, the policy seems to be designed to bring an end to alternate news media with grave consequences for those engaged with the organization. So, yeah, man, this is more attempts at elimination of freedom of speech, personal private rights, alternate viewpoints, alternate, you know, and it's sad to say that alternate isn't even a good word. It's just other other viewpoints, something other than the status quo. Again, the shit that we say,
Yeah.
you know, like this platform here that we have going on is again in this situation would be directly affected by something like this.
And you know what? And you want to know what the problem is? The problem is, we've said this before, is that they're gonna roll this shit out to where we're hitting accept, and we're quote unquote reading the terms and agreements. But you know, nobody really reads the terms and agreements. Let's be real, we don't.
Oh yeah.
But this is a wake up call for everyone to start reading that shit, because you have no idea. Let me tell you something. I read these long articles that Jaron sends me, and only one line really particularly stands out to me, and that's the biggest, most obvious ones out of them all. And again, like I always say, if I can sit there and read these articles and find the one thing that stands out to me, that anybody can fucking read these shits, man. If you can do the little bit of research, you can sniff out the truth. You can sniff out what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah, pretty much.
I could see if we sat up here for 2 years and said all this shit and nothing happened. But the complete opposite has happened.
Yeah, pretty
We
much.
said all this shit, and guess what happened? Time after time after time after time again. We were right. And let me tell you something.
Oh man.
Spoiler alert. We're not fortune tellers. We don't see the future.
Nope.
We're just putting 2 and 2 together. Jaren's going off of his research that he's done for years. I'm going off of pure experience and instinct and knowledge of what of entertainment that they've thrown our way that literally has spoken volumes to me over the past few months, where I'm like, wait a minute, this is from that show, this is from that, or this is from that video game, this is from that commercial that they spewed at us 12 years ago about going to college and that blah, 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 blah. Now college is like the biggest lucrative fucking business in America. No wonder everybody's investing their money into fucking colleges. No wonder you're getting these significant donations from random fucking millionaires and billionaires and colleges. Because they're getting something on that back end of the fucking deal.
100%.
Read your terms and agreements. Because if you don't, you're going to end up like the very examples that they give you in this article.
If not worse.
You're talking about your search history, bro. And your credit score? Really?
It's gonna, if you are looking at, if you are researching things that they deem to be unfactual, it will negatively affect your credit score.
Unfactual information. Wow.
What they deem unfactual.
Wow. But trust the government. Trust the science. Yeah.
Absolutely
you know,
ridiculous.
and one of the biggest problems is that people are going to continue to do this. People are going to continue to just gloss over whatever, and then just because they want something, they're just going to click yes, 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 yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Accept. Until they're fucked. And they're wondering what the hell went wrong. It's like, I didn't agree to that. I didn't agree to this, blah, blah, blah. Right there in fine print. And that's how they're going to sneak that whole copyright shit in. Guaranteed.
Oh, 100%.
You know how many emails I overlooked from YouTube that I get from running a YouTube channel? It's just about every other damn day we get some random ass email, right? From YouTube.
Yeah.
About changes to the YouTube policy.
Yep. Google policy changes, YouTube policy changes.
How many times in the past month have you seen an email about that? About changes here, changes there. Just every other fucking day, it's almost another change to YouTube or Google's policy.
Yep, sure is.
And that's just those two sources. Go in your spam mail, where all the other social medias go. They don't even go in your inbox; they go in your spam mail, which is really how nobody reads that shit.
No.
And you don't even have to hit accept when you go and log back in. It's up. You already have an account on this platform, so we're just going to go ahead and accept it for you, and just send you an email in your spam. Think I'm lying? Think I'm playing?
All the time. And then they make you unsubscribe or opt out manually, but they automatically opt you in. And then nobody wants to fucking go through all that opting out.
This is some very dangerous shit, man. It's some very dangerous shit. And again, this kind of ties into what we talked about earlier too, with the, in terms of the internet. Excuse me. In terms of with the 5 things in the stimulus paycheck or the stimulus check. Yep. Nothing is ever going to be enough for them. No control is ever going to be enough for them. Or no amount of control, I should say, would never be enough for them. They can have a mic in your house. They can have your security system in your house. which means they can lock and unlock your house anytime they want. You want to talk about not owning shit. You want to talk about a great reset, and they're not saying you're not going to own shit. They're going to say, oh, you're going to be able to not own things. You're going to have the freedom to not own anything anymore. Oh, wouldn't you like to have that weight off your shoulders of not having ownership?
Yeah, sure.
That is sick.
Yep.
That rollout is sick.
Yep. Tell you, they're on it, dude.
What do you think they're gonna do next? They're gonna start tearing down a lot of these fucking homes and houses and buildings and putting in their own high-tech buildings and shit that, oh, look at these brand new apartment buildings, these brand new homes that you could come live in.
Well,
And then soon as they need something to happen, they can lock your house without you even knowing.
Yep. Yep, 100%. And then next thing you know, you're done for. You're toast.
Yep.
You're fucking toast. You can't. Oh, you need a car. Oh, your what's it called? Broke down. You need repairs. Well, sorry, your credit score is not good enough. We were not going to give you that loan. Oh, you wanted to get a credit card to try and build your credit up. Well, let's see here. Let's see here that you visited Infowars.com. Oh, sorry, we can't approve you based off of that. Sorry. Oh, we see that you you viewed some anti-election material lately.
You viewed Contemporary Comrades.
Yeah. You viewed Contemporary Comrades. You viewed a their viewpoint's a little alternative. We don't like this. This it's gonna have to deduct your points. Sorry, can't get you that credit, that line of credit you need.
It's happening.
Yep.
What do we say every single time? It's happening.
And now think of this. Combine that with the social credit score, the social credit, like China's got, that'll be here soon. So combine the fact that
one
you
is
can't.
wild.
Yeah, bro.
Because I wonder what that one is actually going to implement. What is actually going to affect.
It affects everything in China.
So that's basically what we're talking about.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing.
It's a piece of that. Yeah. Yeah, man. We're on our way. Hope you're buckled up.
Yo, those commercials are gonna be wild, man. I'll tell you that much. Those commercials for the fucking for that social shit, yeah, it's gonna be wild.
Yep. I agree with that.
Because their rollout is gonna be the same thing as this whole great reset of the non-ownership of shit. They're gonna sugarcoat it as best as they can.
Yep. It'll be better because nobody will own anything. That's how we redistribute wealth. We'll just make everybody. Well, what's that called again? Oh, it's called communism. Oh, okay.
And that's one thing I want to touch on a long time ago too. That I don't think we really had a full episode about, which was I feel like I feel like classes. Classism is probably the biggest. I wouldn't say the biggest issue, but I would say one of the biggest issues we have. Is class. Like,
well, don't worry, the Great Reset will take care of that. It won't be any class. It'll be or there'll be rich and poor. The rich will dictate what the poor do, and the poor will be given the Great Reset and not own anything. But everybody will be in the same pool. You won't be. You might not get called poor, but you'll be poor.
Yeah.
At that point, you're nothing more than a serf and a peasant.
Yeah, man, this is nuts, man. This
Absolutely.
is nuts.
Absolutely nuts. And the thing is, like, you want to ask yourself, can anything be done about it? I think something could be done about it. but there's not enough participation. There's not enough. There's not enough people who are awake and aware, and there are too many people who are like we always say, who are begging and pleading for this shit.
I mean, think about it though, Jaron. We talk about this all the time, right? But in the end, if we had people to speak up like we do, do you think it would still now again, I'm obviously not encouraging. I want as many people to whether we get 10 views on here or 10,000 views. I at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because we're still getting our voices out and we're still doing, what we like to do, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But do you really think it would really make a difference if more people and the masses started speaking out?
Yes.
Do you think it would be harder for them to silence us?
Yeah, I would say it, but it would take. I'm talking literally probably like 150, 200 million people. Like it would take like the vast majority of all adults in America.
Oof.
You see what I'm saying? Like it would take so much. Like it's just not possible. Like there's too many brainwashed people. There's too many.
Yeah.
There's far too many. Like,
but I'm
need a
just
majority
I'm just surprised that we're not seeing just as many people. Because to me, I think it's Apple. I don't really know the whole metaphor with apples and oranges, but I think it's I'm somewhat of an idiot. But I kind of want to compare this to 2 + 2, like something super fucking simple. Like to me, it's 2 + 2. 2 + 2 = 4. So like the only thing simple to that is 1 + 1, which is 2.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get why people don't like. People are just so like, you got to wear your mask or you don't wear a mask, blah, blah, blah. Or it's like, votes count, or we got to get the black vote. That was a really big thing that we were on for what,
of course,
in October, November, that kept like really pissing me off was like the fact that people were like the black votes, the Latino votes. Like, okay, so now I'm not voting as a person, I'm voting now as a race. Like, what? And again, that's if you're playing that whole voting game anyways. But to me, this is no different, man. It's just like, how can people not see what the fuck is going on? You go one place, it's censorship. You go to the next place, censorship. We're both content creators.
Yep.
I may have my hand in different areas of content creating, but at the end of the day, it's still content creating. Like every avenue that I try and it's frustrating. I'm not sitting here trying to bitch and complain, but maybe I feel like I should probably be able to bitch and complain for a little bit. I don't know. But why is it every fucking avenue I take and creating and being creative, period, it's like this fucking barrier just put right in front of me where it's like, you can't, make sure you don't say this. Oh, make sure you don't do this, or make sure you agree with this. And it's just like, can I say anything that I feel?
Right.
And I feel like that's why I've taken so much stock and so much time and so much effort and so much work and pride and joy and fun into this, what we're doing.
True shit.
Because it will this someday come to an end that where we literally cannot say how we feel? Will it get to a point where we literally can't even search up websites to get research, to get the right information?
Exactly.
That's what they're telling us. They're saying, look, don't look any further into this COVID-19 stuff. And if you do, you're going to get banned from YouTube. Your channel, done. Don't look more into trying to figure out what's in these vaccines, because if you do, your credit score is going to go down. Nigga.
Yep.
What?
Yep.
Really?
They've got us firmly gripped by the genitals.
That's what they're telling us.
That's exactly what you're saying.
They're saying don't move or we're chopping your dick off. You're done. Everywhere you fucking go. You cannot Google any kind of research, pretty much. That's what they're telling you. You can only, it's like you already said, Jaron, and like this article says, it's only going to be the sites that they have available for you. Like to me, you're now doing exactly what the fuck we've been clowning China for doing for the past 10 years.
Exactly.
Haha, look at China. They can't look up this website or that website. They have to use a VPN for every fucking thing.
And now what?
Now, here comes December 2020, damn near January 2021. What's the rollout?
Yep.
He who laughs last laughs best or loudest. Whatever.
Either or.
I'm really bad with these fucking quotes tonight. But you all know what I'm trying to say. Like I don't understand where the logic comes from with censoring the fucking internet at this point, because they've already done it. They've already done it years and years ago. Apparently, the part of the internet that your everyday American or your everyday person accesses is only like, I don't know, a very small percentage of what the real of like how much the big, large, like dark web is like, what, 80% of the internet or some shit. I don't fucking know. But I heard some kind of statistic a while ago, but that like it's a very small percentage. A part of the internet is like that mainstream, like, you know, you can go into these sites and whatever. But
yes, that's true.
At the end of the day, man, they're censoring everything. They're telling us what we can and can't do. We're slaves. We've always been slaves. We're always going to be fucking slaves. It doesn't matter whether they're white, black, Latino, whatever. Everyone in America is going to be fucking slaves at this point, dude. It's happening.
Yeah. Yep.
And it says it right here in the article.
And it's all by design.
All by design.
All by design. And it's crazy how how intertwined everything we talked about tonight was, even though technically they're all separate, but like they all facilitate and like bound and like work with each other. Like all these, that's how you know, like all these, that's how you know this is going to be a completely, a completely new normal. When they was telling you, oh, this is a new normal, this is a new normal, this is a new normal. This was indeed a new normal. Looks like we've got quite a few comments. So shout out to John from America, spelled wrong. Shout out to John from America. Says, I think it's going to get to a point where we're not even going to be allowed to think for ourselves without major consequences. Yes, you're right. So going back to the Great Reset, Klaus Schwab said that the capability would be there with these implants to be able to predict crimes via, the governments and law enforcement having control of your thoughts and being able to predict what kind of thoughts that you have. So yeah, that is a goal of theirs. He says also the Army is working on technology to breed and map out the human brain's electromagnetic field. Yes, big facts there too. I guess he's finish it off to read. And he also says, you know what? I wonder how the hell did they cure Trump in one day, but the vaccines they're giving us, we're going to need more than one, and it's not even guaranteed that it's going to be effective. That's true. That's because I don't think that Trump actually got COVID.
Yeah.
That's
another thing too. That should prove to you that all that vaccine bullshit they were spewing months ago wasn't shit. All of that fucking shit. It wasn't shit, bro. Because if it was, then yeah, he's right. What would it be?
Right.
What would it be now? You know what I mean? Because They're saying we're gonna need more than one. We're gonna need more than one dose, right? That's what they said with the at the end of that video that I watched with Pence, right, where he got it, and they tried to say, oh, um, you guys are have to come
21
back
days
14.
later.
What is it? 14 days, right?
21.
21 days or some bullshit like that.
Yeah, 21
You
days.
guys are gonna have to come back and take another. Yeah, fuck off.
And then John also says, well, with the mentality that we're always going to be slaves, and yeah, self-fulfilling prophecies will happen. I'd argue it's a little bit more than mentality, but it looks like so John, I don't know if this is the same John. Somebody wants to hop in the stream. Pre-warning, if you're a troll, you're gonna get banned and
Oh
booted.
shit.
Pre-warning. So welcome to the Comrades, John Smith. Say what up. Hello? Smith John? John Smith? Smith John?
All right, let's kick him out.
And later Smith John. I don't know if you're the same John from America spelled wrong or not.
Yeah, but we gave you your opportunity to come in.
We gave
and
you an opportunity and you did, and you missed it. And
Yeah.
But appreciate the comments because you did spit some real shit there about the Army working on technology. Yeah.
I forgot we still had the open link. I forgot we were still doing that.
we do still have it, man. Nobody shout out to Elise for being like the only motherfucker to hop in there.
Oh, and Dole. You can't forget about Dole.
And Dole. John says, "My bad. Continue the show. My internet keeps on giving out. It's all good, bro."
Okay. So it really was him. Okay.
Yeah. We do lives often, so
we get trolled a lot.
Opportunity. Yeah, and we get trolled a lot.
So we just had to take our precautions.
Pretty much. But shout out from John from America. Yeah, dude, you got any final words for this shit, man? I think that these were more just continuation examples of the shit we've been talking about. Nothing really was, I guess, new here. I guess you could say. I mean, it was some new shit, but like, it's all kind of like, well, no real surprise, unfortunately.
Yeah,
it's just a rampant, a very not necessarily rampant, but a very rapid increase in all of the examples of this shit. It's literally like week to week, they're increasing.
Yeah, it's remarkable, man. It's remarkable what they're doing and what they're going to continue to be doing.
Yeah.
Every time I think about, all right, they're going to start, giving us the poison, as I like to call it,
Yeah.
And then they're gonna do that great reset rollout, and after that, from then on, man, it's gonna be pure slavery. It's gonna be like people. I'm telling you, man. We're focused on the wrong shit. Everybody's focused on race and political views and all this other bullshit, man. They have no idea what is fucking coming. No idea.
Exactly. 'Man. 2021. It's gonna be a year. We thought 2020 was something. 2020 was a calm before the storm.
And it's funny how people say, "Oh, 2021 is going to be this and that," and it could be. You can have all the great plans in the world for 2021, and they might come true, but maybe not.
Maybe not. Maybe or maybe not. Maybe 2020 was the last pseudo opportunity.
And we're seeing everybody coming and saying, "Oh, they're testing. They're getting vaccines to the military and the people and doctors and all this." What do they do with every other fucking vaccine? The same fucking thing. Firefighters, firefighters, policemen, military, everyone, all these people, man.
Yeah.
Of course, they did it with these vaccines. People have no idea.
Yeah.
No idea.
Hey, so it looks like we've got John from America back again, maybe? No, if you're trolling, I'll tell you now, if you're trolling, it's over with.
I don't think he's showing. He's showing his real
I,
face. I
I
think.
don't I don't think so. But I've seen trolls show me some other real shit that I don't need to necessarily repeat. But John, say what's up, man. Welcome to the Comrades.
Hey, what's up? I appreciate y'all taking the chance to talk to me. I
Sure,
know there
man.
are a lot of trolls,
What's
and
up,
yeah, I'm
John?
not one. Hey, I just jumped on the live stream. I subscribed to y'all, and
Oh,
Cool, man.
shout out.
Appreciate
I
it. Yeah, appreciate it,
yeah, and
man.
I agree with what you're saying. Information is being suppressed, and I literally got my I got another YouTube channel with like 300 subscribers, and they just YouTube Google themselves. They sent me a thing in my YouTube. Dang it, I'm saying it wrong. In my Gmail, saying like, "Hey, you can't have this account no more. We took your information and we sold it to other companies. There's a
Whoa.
big
What?
lawsuit happening." Yeah, they're like,
What?
"There's a big lawsuit happening. Here's $12, and if you respond, yeah, they were like, if you respond to this, then that means you accept what's going on, and if you don't respond, then that means that you accept what we're doing." Like either way, they were just like, there's nothing you can do. But if you look at my channel, it's called. I could type it in the chat if you want,
Sure, yeah,
or
go
I
Yeah,
could
ahead.
just tell it to you.
but
Okay,
I want to ask you a couple questions first, though.
go ahead.
How much work did you put into that channel? You had, I'm sure you probably had a few. You had 300 subscribers, so I'm sure you had quite a few lucrative like videos on there, right?
Well, no, actually, not really. One of the first videos I ever put out was on the fact that there is too much oversaturation of information, and not just information, but disinformation. So I really try to keep it down to like 4 to 5 videos, and yeah, I got about like 300 subscribers off of that.
Damn, just
Really?
off of
Uh,
4 or 5 videos. Damn,
Off of
what
four?
we must be fucking up then.
well,
Fair.
it's been through 4 years. I've been on YouTube 4 years, and I don't really try to make videos. I try to have conversations and talk to people. And the first video I ever put out was Bill Gates talking about them, him trying to depopulate the Earth with
Hmm.
vaccines and trying
Hmm.
to integrate this technology. That was the first video 4 years ago when he was talking about it. I put it
Hmm.
out. The last video I was able to put out when all this started it was called. Well, let me put my name in the chat and then you can look
Mhm.
it up. Let's see. I don't want to. I literally got hacked, and I'm still getting hacked. Like I got my other phone right here,
Mhm.
and I was talking to some atheists, and my phone just automatically started messing up ever since then. Whenever I try to get on a live stream or I get online, my
Shit, bro.
that phone will just start going off and on, turning off and on. But I use my other tablet; it's fine. So
Holy shit!
yeah,
I'm still kind of shocked the way that they just shut down your channel like that.
Oh
yeah.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm gonna show it to you right now. I'm gonna send you the name. I'm gonna give you the name, and then you can look up the channel.
That
But
is
the last thing,
crazy.
yeah, they could do that if they want. They could do whatever they want. They kill people for fucking putting their hands up. Trying to laying on the ground. I've seen cops will shoot you for just laying on the ground. But yeah, the main issues I feel like are not being addressed because there's all this stuff from all around. We don't know. People don't know what the hell to focus on.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me type it in.
That's
So
that's
yeah,
that's,
how
that's a
long
good
have y'all
point.
been streaming already?
About
Tonight,
almost a
like,
couple hours, yeah.
yeah, two
Or
hours.
or you mean total?
Yeah, like right now,
Oh,
since
right,
the
right now
stream
about a
started.
couple hours, yeah. But
Yeah,
Okay.
2 hours.
um, yeah, dude, that's nuts, man.
Damn it, I
That's
spelled it
nuts.
wrong. I don't. It's supposed to be. Don't you? There's supposed to be a T where the R is at. Forgot.
Don't you forgot get about?
Forget. Sorry. No. Don't you forget about me. That's what.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's. And then those three things in the at the end there.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, have y'all seen the Matrix, the Animatrix? It's a cartoon
Uh,
about the Matrix.
No, uh-uh.
Well, yeah, they have a cartoon version of the Matrix that they made themselves, and when all this stuff started, they were showing the map of all the people that are getting infected in America.
Mhm.
And I was like, wait a minute, I've seen this map somewhere before. And it took me a second to think about it. And I was like, the
Mhm.
Animatrix. This is like a 10-year-old show. And it's the last video I put out. It's called Predictive Programming or exclamation part or warning. Uh, and in the cartoon, there's a guy running from, yeah, you see the first one right there. Well, just if you click on it, you can look at it. It's not that long at all. If you want, you don't have
You
to.
talking about your Mandela effect video?
No, I'm talking about the first one
This
right
one?
there. Yeah, that one. Yeah, yeah. The Mandela effect. That's the first one I put out. It's talking about Bill Gates. It has nothing to do with the Mandela effect, right? But I titled it that because I was experiencing that when I put the video out.
Okay.
Because everyone was focusing on that. Okay, yeah, watch the video. Turn
I
it up a
actually
little
watched
if you
the
can.
movie about the Mandela effect the other night.
Yeah, I don't like the movie. I never watched it. There's too much crap going on that's hiding the truth, and that's one of them. The movie.
That's fair.
Can you turn it up just a little? I can't.
I can't turn up the volume anymore. Any
Okay.
might be able. Yeah.
I wonder why.
So what exactly is this?
You're gonna see right now the cartoon I'm watching has the exact same map that they're saying that they're showing right now that they were showing all the everybody in America, like they were like everyone's getting infected. um
Oh,
it's the exact same map, but from 10 years ago they were already had this all planned out a long time ago. That map right there, when I first saw it.
Oh.
Wait, just let it play because I'm gonna pause it. I'm gonna go back to it and pause it. And
crazy.
yeah, and the teachers, like, they know they're coming for you, or somebody calls him and tells him like, yeah, they know
Bruh.
they're coming for you. And just wait till I pause it because
Bruh.
that map's the exact same map.
Bro.
Hold on, wait for I'm gonna put it up to the thing. Hold on. It's gonna go dark and then I'm gonna and then you could pause it right when I put it back because it ends right there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's
Yeah, see, it's the exact same map if you look at it.
bruh.
The things that are highlighted in red are the same exact things that are highlighted.
Oops. My computer's acting stupid. Of course my computer started acting stupid, right?
Yeah, right. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. And I'm the crazy one when all this stuff happens to me.
Bro. That's crazy.
Yeah, and literally when I first saw the movie, I was like, "What the hell is that referring to?"
Yeah, that's interesting.
You know,
It's pretty similar.
yeah, it's pretty weird. It's exactly all the exact same. It's not similar. It's the exact same states.
So so is that your new channel or that's the same one? The same channel you were talking about?
Yeah, that's the one that got hacked into, and I don't have access to
Oh,
it no
okay,
more.
okay.
So
So they didn't shut down your channel. They just said your channel. They just took
they
information from your channel.
they shut down my Gmail, so I had no access to it, and logged me out of every account I
Oh
was
shit,
had access. Yeah, so I can't upload or comment or anything. It doesn't matter. The truth is gonna get out there. It just made me think like, well, obviously I'm doing something right because they're getting scared.
oh
You just
man.
gotta speak the truth. I don't think I wanted to come on to say I don't think we're slaves. I mean, obviously, yeah, we're enslaved, but I don't think we're always gonna be enslaved. It's a choice,
Well,
and
well,
it all.
well,
Go ahead.
John. I mean, not to cut you off anything, but do you have a job?
I no, I don't. I'm
Cut-
trying to be self-sufficient. I don't want to depend on
Okay.
people or governments to give me
Okay.
money.
Do you mind me asking how old you are?
I'm 28 years old.
Oh,
Years
oh
young.
shit. Oh
Shit,
shit.
so
Okay.
so are we.
Same age. We're all the same age then. Um. Okay, that's interesting. Okay. I like that though. I like
Have you?
I like that approach you have because yeah, I was about to say you have a job, you're a slave, but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean you're still a slave. I mean we're all still. I'm not saying we're all
No, let me
super
answer me
duper like
this.
big slaves, but I
Go ahead.
mean there's certain aspects. You're still a slave. Trust me, because we're
Yeah,
all.
I say
Do you have a
we're
social
not.
security number?
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, yeah. I
Then
wouldn't do the. If I got rid of my social, that would still be following a Illuminati or Mason type of agenda because you have to file certain paperwork to get your social security number out of the system, and it puts you in a whole nother system. In reality, it's a big game that they like to play.
put you in a whole nother sit. Now, can you elaborate on that? Because
That's interesting.
You
my
need a.
understanding is you can keep your social, but you can also change your status from citizen to like a United States citizen to like a citizen of the United States of America. You know, I don't know if you know the difference between the two or not. Like I don't know how much you
Yeah,
know.
there's like a sovereign.
Yeah,
There's like a
yeah,
sovereign.
yeah.
Yeah,
Essentially,
yeah.
like
That's all
yeah.
part of. That's all. Yeah, still a control
So you're
system.
saying that's
If
still
you're. Go
so
ahead.
how
Sorry.
is being a sovereign a control system? I'm just picking your brain.
Because you're over here asking the enslavers for your freedom when we are the ones who free ourselves. We don't ask to be freed. We free ourselves. But by over here trying to file this paperwork, asking the government to look at it, to consider us like this, and it puts you in. The only people who ever advocate for getting rid of your social and being a sovereign citizen, they're always Masons that I talk to. Like that
Well,
that's the
yeah,
thing that secret societies do. And that the
there's no
secret
such thing as a.
societies
Go ahead.
go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
The
My bad.
secret
I'm interrupting.
societies are the ones who are uh behind the strings controlling everybody. This is a spiritual warfare ultimately. That's what it comes down to.
Well, right.
They don't want us to know who we
That's why I
really are.
played. I don't know if you joined when we started the stream, but that's why I played the song that I played. It literally, the song literally was saying, this is a spiritual warfare." So it's funny that you say that because I played the song and said the exact same thing before the stream started. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what's
there's
going
no
on.
such thing as a sovereign citizen. That doesn't really exist. But I see. So and that there is a Masonic, like Zionist creation, a sovereign citizen. There's only a sovereign. No such thing as a sovereign citizen because as a citizen, you're not inherently you're not
I,
sovereign.
yeah, I wanted to say if it's true what half ass pod. Do you have a better name? Half. I just say half.
Well, no. I mean that's my other YouTube channel, but yeah, I go by Corn. Mhm.
Okay, well, Corn. I agree with what he said. Like we're not really free. If one of us is not free, none of us are,
Yeah,
and we're all because we're all
Right.
connected to each other.
yeah.
So it doesn't matter if I'm a sovereign citizen. In reality, they might consider the powers that want to be will look at me at however I want, but in reality, we're still enslaved, and we can only be as strong as the weakest link, and I don't think if everybody decided to become sovereign citizens, I don't feel like that would be the thing that solves all of our problems. I
No,
don't
hell
think
no.
that's
No.
yeah. That's well, I don't think we would be free. That's what I mean. If everybody became a sovereign citizen, I don't think we would just all be not enslaved
I
anymore.
agree with that. Yeah,
It
I don't think
has
that's the
okay. It
answer
has to do with
either.
money,
But I think
and
that's at least
community.
you can if you dictate that you're not a citizen, you can get out of certain things legally. Now, who knows what kind of bearing that will hold when shit hits the fan? Probably none. So it's probably a waste of time anyway. But that's like literally like the only thing that I think that people can do to even try to kind of get out of what's about to happen. That's like the probably like the
Well,
only thing. And it,
for us, we're already in the system, but I would suggest if we had kids, for your children, if you don't want them to be a part of the system, don't even, put, don't ever give them a social,
oh yeah,
but we,
they'll arrest you if you don't do that. If you have your child in a hospital, you'll get arrested if you try and tell them to not give a social security number. Guaranteed.
yeah, and that's part of the whole, that's
That's a
why you
part of
don't
the
go
problem.
to the hospital. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's part of the problem. Do
but
y'all
I mean,
believe in? Go ahead.
we all know
Sorry.
who the hospital is run by. We all know who they're
Right.
funded by. You know, we know at the end of the day, we know exactly what this whole game is, especially with the. And again, you know, I don't know what your stance is on the whole COVID thing, but that's one of the main reasons why I believe these COVID numbers are extremely irrelevant
What do I
and
look at
inaccurate.
on the COVID?
Yeah.
I feel like definitely there. It's kind of loud. Do you think you could mute? Maybe I'm getting an echo. Okay. I feel like definitely biological warfare is a thing that they like to do, and they've done it throughout history. The Black Plague, I believe, was a part of uh, biological warfare, and they try to say it was just a natural plague. When they came in with the Indians, you know, they gave them the blankets. They gave them all smallpox. They try to be like, hey, you're cold, you need some blankets. Here you go. It was filled with diseases. Um, so I definitely believe that there is something going on, some kind of disease that they put out here and try to like orchestrate some kind of disease, but I don't think it did what they wanted it to do. I think we are a lot stronger than they predicted, or that they know how they're trying to get at us at every way they can. You know, mercury in our fillings, fluoride in our water. You know,
Yep.
vaccine mercury in our vaccines even before
Yep.
they this new RNA thing that's supposed to change our DNA.
Yep.
But
Like
here's
all
the
this,
problem
they
though.
try to
Here's the
get at
problem
us.
though. Like you just said, they're trying everything they can with us physically. But what's the easiest thing that they're doing to us? They're not even though they keep trying to
You
hit
can
us
trap the
mentally, like
mind.
physically, they're getting us mentally, bro. They're getting
Yeah,
us
if you're not free
emotionally,
in your
bro.
mind, yeah,
You know
it's true. I
'cause
agree.
that works every single time. Every
Yep.
single time. It
They're
never fails.
all is mind, really. Like
Yep.
if you can't control anything else without controlling the mind.
Because they're gonna keep throwing all this physical stuff. They're gonna keep throwing all this stuff to the wall physically at us until it sticks. But look at what they did with us mentally with COVID.
Yeah. Hey, I agree. That's why in the Matrix it says this is a prison for the mind. Like, yeah, they
Mm-hmm.
have the majority of the population brainwashed, and literally, we talk about physically. Literally, it's there are people who are born that are physically unable to be brainwashed, and that's like the 10% or the 1%. The people who think for themselves, that's just it. Like we're free thinkers. We're able to take in information and then not just dogmatically, start spitting it out and being like, this is what it is because I learned this my whole life. And I feel like that's what's wrong with the majority of the population. They they physically are able to be brainwashed. Like they can be affected by binaural beats. Have you ever heard of a binaural beat?
Yeah, I have.
I haven't.
A, a binaural beat is two sound waves posting at different frequencies, and you put it in your ears, and it will like your brain will put the sounds together, and then it literally causes your brain to you could hallucinate. Like if you hear these sounds, it'll make you start hallucinating. It can make you throw up. It can make you feel like you're high on I don't know, like there's a whole bunch of different types of uh what's it called, mental ex damn it, I don't know how to say it, like experiences that it can cause you to feel. But for me, I did it, and yeah, it had no effect on me at all. I wanted to get high for free. If I could get high by
Right.
listening to some sound,
Right. I don't
yeah,
blame you.
I'd do it. So I tried it, and it didn't work.
Quote of the night.
Yeah,
I want to get high for free.
yeah,
That's what she said.
but yeah, but I gave it to other people around me, and it worked on everybody else. And then
Oh
for a
wow.
while, I was like, so what the hell is wrong with me? That why can't I, experience this thing that everyone else can? And then I came to the conclusion that that's a form of hypnosis or brainwashing,
Probably.
and there are just some people that are unsusceptible to hypnosis and brainwashing. I think it goes down to the genius thing. Like, well, are geniuses made or born?
Mm-hmm.
Like some
True.
people, I don't know. They can't process as much information as other people. Like it
That's
does
true.
take brain power to think. And right now we're saying a lot of stuff. It's too much for most people to even comprehend.
Well,
Oh
yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
just yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, you know that just from seeing the way people react to. You just mentioned some of these celebrities out here, and people automatically get triggered. You know, people automatically like, oh, you know, we can use the most relevant example, Trump. Be like, oh, well, what was wrong with Trump? Even though, like, personality wise, yeah, he's off a little bit, but he's not. You know, you ask him, what was wrong with President Trump? Oh, he was racist. Well, how was he racist? Well, he didn't help black people when we were again. What? How was he racist? Again, that's a simple brainwashing that they've done over the years with him. You know what I mean? And that was one of the main things that's because they were trying to push out Biden. You know, I mean, not
Yeah,
push out Biden, push Biden in. You know, from pushing out Trump and trying to continue this whole world. You know, just what was the term for it, Jaron? A global
Yeah, just this
dominance.
whole this whole
You know,
global
global control. You
yeah
know,
globalist society
and
or
and it's yeah,
globalist
and
world, whatever.
this new world order, right?
Yeah.
Um, you know, literally. So yeah, I mean, by all means, they're going to continue to try and do this physical stuff, but at the end of the day, mentally is where they're going to get us. Mentally is where they've already got us. That's where their bread and butter is. It's just poisoning mind and getting us to react in the ways that they know we're going to react, just based off of basic human reaction. Honestly, at this point, which it shouldn't be, but it is.
Yeah.
I want to ask you a question. What do you think the three ways they use to enslave our mind? Like the three subjects they use to enslave the masses' minds.
It all depends on where you live.
Science, politics, and religion. Those are the three things they use for all everywhere.
Hmm.
Yeah. And all yeah. Yep.
I
Science.
mean, there's truth in all of them, but you know the best lie is a half truth. You get the truth twisted up. People are like, I believe that. That's what I believe, and that's it. That's all I got.
That's true.
Yeah, I subscribe to you, so I appreciate y'all having me on. I don't know if you want to talk
Oh,
more. I know y'all been on for a minute now.
oh yeah. Thank you for
Yeah, dude. Thanks
subscribing,
for
man.
hopping
Thank you
on.
for hopping in here and conversating with it. It's the kind of stuff that we encourage that everyone that watches our stuff does. You know, that's how we get a bigger and you know at the end of the day, yeah. I mean, yeah, we love having a bigger following and more people, you know, coming in and just fucking with us. Like we're not here to you know profess to anybody or anything like that. We're just here to say what's on our mind, to give our opinion out, and let you guys know what we think of the shit that they're rolling out. And
I want to add something to
not
that
just
real
for our
quick.
own sake, because we could just me and Jan could just chop it up on PlayStation 4 all the time and talk about this stuff. But we do this on this open
True.
platform because we want other people to see this. We want other people to know, even if it is how many people watching right now. I don't even know, but
Four, I think.
you know, the four people watching and you coming in here as well, so you know, helping support the channel. On top of that, like that's awesome, and it's awesome to see that there's at least someone listening. To the stuff that because again we don't have to agree on everything. You don't have to agree with any of the stuff we're saying, but at least you can agree on the fact that this stuff needs to be brought to everyone's attention.
Dang it. Yeah, I was gonna say something, and then literally my Thea started talking to me, and um, I'm sorry, I got thrown off a little bit.
You got high for
Uh,
free. That's what it was.
okay, I remember what I was gonna say now. I definitely feel like quality is better than quantity, and I do feel like, especially in the time that we're going into or we have been in, but it's gonna get worse, like you said. It is detrimental to speak the truth in a be honest in a dishonest society. Like
Yeah.
that's all I'm saying. It's hard to speak the truth nowadays because they'll twist it. They'll get it and twist it. And I feel like the powers. I keep on saying that wannabe because in reality, God is the ultimate person in control of things, and they want to be the ones who have control, but they don't. So they're not the power. God is the power that be. God is the power. Yeah, that is that be that. But yeah, they can't even think for themselves. The powers that be. They get our thoughts because they don't have their own, and they use what we say and what our plans, and then they're like, okay, yeah, that's a good one. Let's go with that one, and that's kind of it. But
What
I
do you mean
there are solutions.
what do you mean our
There
plan?
are solutions. Our plans, like plans for a better life. Inventions. All these inventions that they that modern day science takes credit for is
Oh yeah,
not.
it's
It's
just
not.
just stuff like happened in the past. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they get the good technology. They hide it, put it in the Vatican or put it wherever,
Yeah, I mean, I
and
guess
then
if you're the victor, you can create the future, right? If you've gotten all the spoils from everything you've taken, you
yep.
get all that information and you get to do whatever the hell you want with it.
Yeah, death. That's what happens.
Yeah.
Whoever is willing to fight for the death is gonna be the one who's gonna win at the end. Whoever has the most bodies, but
True.
that's only physical. They're losing physically and spiritually. But they just don't know it yet. There are solutions. That's why I wanted to say. I don't know if a lot of people like to talk about the plan and the problem, but they never really address any solutions, possible solutions. I have some if you want to hear them, or I don't know if y'all have any yourselves that for being self-sustainable. I feel like that's the first step. We need to be self-sustainable.
But we're
Have y'all
we're
thought of?
we're, we're about to go into a world where we're no longer going to be self-sustainable. They're going to make it, a job for them to try and make sure that none of us are, self-sufficient. If that makes any sense. I mean, we
Yeah,
we
they
we had
they've
we had
been
a
doing it.
conversation a week ago about how, you know, Jared and I had a little debate about how we feel like how I had a debate with Jared how I felt like humans are no longer going can no longer think as humans anymore just because of the way how much we're brainwashed. Like before, there was a human instinct of like, okay, this makes sense. Like we're talking about just 2 plus 2 kind of stuff, like the stuff I was just talking about just a few minutes ago, and yet people aren't acting like that. They aren't acting on it like that. It's no longer a second nature to have human nature. It's now second nature to just react. Yeah, like we were talking earlier, it's just this big react button, and everybody's waiting to hit 24/7 just because of everything we're all fed through social media, through through TV, through parents, through people out in the streets, through coworkers, hell, even through books now. And as we just learned, what they're going to start doing in the education system, or hell, what they've already done in the education system with censorship, with recreating the past and hiding what really happened in the past and stuff like that, just because people's feelings are hurt. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, we're two black dudes. Like we know the bullshit that goes on when it comes to black people in America. Both
I mean,
ways.
don't forget.
Both ways.
I this is one thing I always say to people. I mean, we're all indigenous to this earth, first of all. Unless you're an alien from Mars, you have ancestors that have traditions, and they were attached. They were in tune with the land at one point in time, wherever you're from. But
Mhm.
even with Caucasian white people, they too had tribes, and they had this thing where they were in tune with the land, but they were the first ones to get colonized. Rome was all roads lead to Rome, and Rome was a big colonizer in this thing that happened. So hey, I always try to tell people like we're all in this together. The thing with white people is they're way more culture got stripped a long time ago, way before. They're still trying to strip our culture from us. We still know oral stories that have been passed down from family by family members, and I'm saying for you too, like us as I don't like saying melanated people because that I feel like that's a whole nother
Well,
like a narrative.
I want to say as black people, we kind of bring we've although I kind of agree with you a little bit, but I feel like as time is going on, especially in the time that I've been alive and the shit that I've seen from the black community, we haven't helped ourselves in terms of the culture, and I mean we have some people that have tried to help and are still helping, but the majority part need to hold their weight in or not, and that's the
Now,
problem.
I don't believe that. I think oppression is real, and there are a lot of black, intelligent people out here. You said it. You just said it. Like the first part we is in the main thing is the mind. You know, the enslavement of the mind. And I see a lot of black intellectuals out here talking. I don't see a lot of, you know, indigenous people out here or Mexican people
Are they
talking about
mostly?
these
I got a
things.
question. Are they mostly black males?
Yeah,
Mm, mm.
yeah, they are. Um, but I
Telling
don't
you,
know.
man.
Are you trying to get a gender war, or are you
Telling
just
you, man.
saying like,
No. I'm saying like that because there's. I'm trying to not be too blunt about the agendas that they're pushing but what I'm saying is that we're as like again I agree with you a little bit as that like yes people are oppressed and different races are oppressed, but I feel like we're making it bigger than what it actually really is in terms of being oppressed, especially here in America, because it's way worse in other places in terms
oh
of
yeah, of
one
course,
race
yeah,
being
there's
oppressed
heads
and stuff
getting
like that.
chopped
Like
off.
again, it's you know to me it's what they're saying, what we're seeing in the media and stuff like that is not really, to me, is not really what's going on out in the world. And I feel like it's getting to the point where people don't really want to try and make that extra effort of trying to prove people wrong in that area of society and in that area of you know quote unquote social, what's the word for it? I can't even think of it, but you know what I mean. Like what, well, at least I hope you know what I mean. Is that no one's going to go through the trouble of trying to prove people wrong that we aren't as oppressive as what we make it seem. But again, I've been called a coon my whole life, so I have no problem being the scapegoat, for that.
Yeah. Yeah, hey, I agree. I don't know how to respond, but I'm listening. And I, I agree with what you're saying. There is oppression's real, and I'm not sure exactly. You're saying it's not as bad in America. Yeah, that's true. It's worse. There's worse things happening, but uh, that's the part of the game. That's the game they play. They want to be like, hey, you should come over here because if you go over there, we're gonna chop your head off. You can't. You want security? You integrate in this
Yeah.
system, and we'll protect you. You go out there, and yeah, everything goes. Anything goes.
But in exchange for
It's
those protections, we're gonna need your, everything. We're gonna need all your personal
mhm.
information. Your private rights are gonna be gone. you know,
Cameras in your
So
home.
cameras in your house,
have y'all thought
cameras.
about self-sustainable and perpetual motion machines? Have you ever thought about making generators or water machines that pull water out of the air or anything like that?
I have not.
I've
No,
looked
'cause
into I've looked into it, but I haven't actually thought about putting it into like serious practice.
yeah, because that's what I'm saying here. There's technologies that can make us self-sustainable. Like
Oh yeah,
we
totally.
don't have to worry about things, but it's hard to even talk about that because, like I said, they hear us making a plan and they're like, okay, these guys are planning to do this, buy out all the batteries so they can't, if we need batteries for whatever, a certain machine, they'll be like, make sure they don't have the equipment they need because they're talking about it. They're getting ready to do it. So make sure you buy up all the stuff or those things are in short demand or whatever, however you want to put it.
Yeah.
But hey, I just want to say there are solutions to the problems. And yeah,
Yeah.
we can't save everybody. All we can do is our best for ourselves and be an example and try to get with like-minded people. If we're over here arguing with a rock or like
Yeah.
we're not going to get anywhere. Trying to argue with someone who already made up their mind and is willing to kill us for $1, you
Yeah.
know?
That's true shit.
Or over a mask or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Or just even by speaking the truth. People are
Yeah.
willing to kill you for speaking the truth. And
absolutely.
then you want to argue with them? It's like we got to realize people want to hear what you have to say. People are willing to die on all the people who don't agree with anything, you have to say. So I think the main thing is finding like-minded people and surrounding yourself with people you can trust, and then going from there. Because quality is better than quantity.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Man, I agree with you there, man.
All right, mic drop.
Truth. Truth.
Hell yeah,
But
man.
yeah, thanks, John, for coming on here, man. We really appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
Like
man.
we encourage people to do that more often, man. Like but thank you. Yeah, you came in here, so you had some pretty good points too, man. Some pretty good questions you thrown at us as well, man.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely appreciate it, man.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all for being on for 2 hours and 25 minutes. I got off like three different live streams. You're the fourth live stream I was on talking to some people, and literally, like I said, I'm not trying to gravitate towards, black people, but the only ones that are talking about real things, that's I'm going to whoever's talking about the real stuff, and
Mhm.
I can't speak Spanish, so if they're speaking Spanish, I don't know what they're talking about.
I don't either.
So I don't mind talking. I don't mind talking to my own Mexican race, or indigenous people, but they're not out here. They're not out here talking about real issues.
Mhm.
Because we do get
Just
murdered too, dude. We get
oh,
murdered for
well,
Oh,
speaking.
for sure.
oh yeah, yeah, most definitely. Snatched up or hemmed up or jammed up into something that the government planted on them or something like that. Like that's this Black Mirror shit's for real, man.
Mm-hmm.
Quick question.
I appreciate you. Okay, go ahead. I was gonna say I appreciate you having me on, but yeah, go ahead.
Of all the black people that you've seen, how many of them were black women? Just curious.
I mean, I go onto a panel with that's set up specifically just to have black women, and I would say there was one, two, three, four, eight. There's two channels that I go to are mainly guys, and then there's two channels that I go to where it's mainly females. So I try to have like a balance of both.
And they talk about the
I gotta find them, but they're there. You just gotta look. They're talking about what?
no, I'm saying like the same kind of stuff, like kind of trying to open your eyes to what's really going on. They talk about that kind of stuff. The black women that you come
I
across.
mean, open. You're talking about what's going on. We said it. It's a spiritual thing too. So from what I can see, the female is more talk about spiritual stuff. Like the spiritual matters, and I think the guys are more focused on the physical things. And I don't think it's really a bad thing. We gotta focus on what we gotta focus on, or what we can understand. So yeah, that's how it's going down. They're trying to speak the truth as much as they can. It's not necessarily politics, but they're willing to discuss anything. They're not. I talk to some people; they don't want to hear anything I have to say. It's all bullshit to them. But everyone I talk to, male and female, they're willing to listen, and I don't get no like disagreements when I talk about this stuff with them.
And that's what the truth does.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I was
well,
just
hey,
curious. I wasn't trying to get anything. I was just kind of curious. 'Cause I didn't know if they
yeah,
were. I haven't. Yeah.
I can give you a link to them, and you could jump in if y'all want to. I could link you up with some people that I
Yeah.
know.
Please do
Sure,
so.
man. Yeah.
Yeah. Send me a couple of those
Here,
links.
I'll
I might do that. I won't do it tonight, but I will. If they have open links and stuff like that, I'll definitely hop in a couple
Yeah,
of
they
them.
do.
you
Yeah,
can
hit them up in a private chat. Yeah,
yeah, I just sent you our email too. You can hit us with the email as well
yeah. Send them to that
if you
email.
wanna
Yeah,
email us the links and we'll try and hop in on them.
All right. Well, I appreciate y'all having me on. I'm gonna take off and let y'all do your thing.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming
yeah.
on,
Thanks,
dude.
man. And
All right.
again, yeah,
Thanks for
thank you for
having
the
me.
support, man. Thank you for coming in here and giving your input, man. It's always
Yeah.
welcome, bro.
Yeah, and we're live
All right.
often, so we'll be back. We'll be here.
Okay. Cool. Check you later. Check you out later.
Yeah, man.
All
Love you,
right,
dude.
thanks, John.
Yeah, shout out to John, man,
Yeah,
for showing up. Shout out
hell
to
yeah,
John. Um, see, that's why I'm glad we still have the link in the chat, man, or not in the chat, but in the description.
yeah.
For moments like this.
Good
But
thing. Good thing he wasn't a troll. Good thing he wasn't a troll, man.
true.
That's good.
You know what's funny though? Every time that somebody does join, it's like right when we're like getting ready to like
Get off. Yeah.
get off. Like I think every time that's happened.
Yeah.
Which is funny, but
I should have asked him how he found us. That's actually pretty cool.
yeah, I should have.
I thought we were blacklisted for a little bit, but guess not. So
thankfully not.
that's
Yeah,
good.
thankfully
Yeah.
not. I think there's some way that you can see just like random people who are live on YouTube. I think there's some way. I'm not sure, but I'm not saying that's how he found us either. But yeah, at least we're not blacklisted. So
Yeah.
that's a good thing. But yeah, man, shit. On that note, unless you have anything else to say, Corn, I think we're gonna go ahead and call it a neat on that one.
No, man. I want to put in a couple plugs.
Go ahead.
Well, I guess just one plug. Half-Ass Pod. Check it out on YouTube. I will be going.
Yes.
I may not be going live, but I will be posting my Wonder Woman movie review. Most likely Christmas night. If not Christmas night, then not Friday. Actually, wait a minute. Tomorrow's Thursday, right? Shit. All right. Anyways, Wonder Woman movie review will be out at some point this weekend. Check between like Friday and Saturday for that review, as well as me and my own panel on Half-Ass Pod right here on YouTube. We'll be going live again Saturday night talking about we'll be reviewing the movie Homefront. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for more content going up on Half-Ass Pod as more movie news and entertainment news period comes out. So please check back on a daily basis for more content. Hit that like and subscribe on there, as well as hit the like and subscribe on here on Contemporary Comrades, because I've got a couple things in line and working up for Contemporary Comrades on here as well. Some pretty cool ideas that I've already discussed with Jaron, and some other ones I just have in the back of my head, just waiting to kind of get my shit together, put 2 or 3 days aside and try and work on some stuff. But yeah. Continue to check out Contemporary Comrades on here, man.
Definitely, and
Again,
I've got.
We need more
upgrades
Johns,
working
bro.
on.
We need more Johns.
We need more Johns. Shout out to John again, man.
We need more Johns, Doles, and Elisa's.
Yeah,
and Brittany's too. Yeah,
and Brittany's. Facts. Yeah, man, I got some stuff cooking as well for the comrades that some upgrades that we're looking into and some other things. Of course, the fire content is never going to end. So, as long as there's a comrades, there's going to be fire. So, but yeah, man, thanks everybody for watching. Hope you liked, and also hope you hit the like and subscribe and all that good shit. We got more shit coming. I'm gonna cut up a clip of so the rapper who did the song on the intro, Prodigy from Mobb Deep, rest in peace, Prodigy. I'm gonna cut up a clip of something that he said in a old interview before he died. So be on the lookout for that clip tomorrow. It was just an interview I happened to be watching, like kind of before the cast. I was like, damn, he said that. I was like, all right, that definitely gotta cut that. So be on the lookout for that video tomorrow, man. Or at some point soon, somewhere in the next couple of days. And be on the lookout for more Comrades content in general, man. And check out Half-Ass Pod while you're at it. But shit, on that note, it's been the Comrades. This is Heavy J. It's Corn.
peace out.